name is Liz McLaurin. I'm president and CEO of the Land Trust for Tennessee, and I was really led to this organization because all my life, place has mattered to me. We moved around a lot, and I always found my place wherever we were, and it was always a place outside. And I came to Tennessee to go to Sewanee, the University of the South, which is quite a place. And I think that just made me love Tennessee more. And I moved away again and came back to Tennessee, and I've now been back in Tennessee for 25 years. So it's home, and it's where we've raised our children, and protecting the beauty of Tennessee is just, to me, a real honor. So I was one of the first volunteers at the Land Trust for Tennessee, and so we were at, well, maybe 250 acres when I first came into the Land Trust as a volunteer. The Land Trust has evolved in incredible ways since I became familiar with the organization. It was founded by Phil Bredesen and a group of Middle Tennesseans, and really started in Middle Tennessee, and doing conservation easements, working with private landowners to conserve land on a voluntary and permanent basis. I think about someone like Phil Bredesen, who's watched this organization grow over time and change and evolve to meet the needs of our state. And he's very proud of what the Land Trust has done, and I'm honored to be a part of it and honored to work with such an incredible team. Developments are popping up every day, and that's okay. You know, there are good places for development. People need places to live. But when you're losing 10 acres of farmland an hour in a state, that's alarming. And we need to be thoughtful about conserving the places that matter in Tennessee, and also making sure people have a place to live. Our landowners love their land. They know their land. Sometimes it might be a century farm. Sometimes it might be a place that they purchased and cobbled together a lot of different pieces of land to make a whole landscape. So when you care for your land, if you have the ability to protect it, you want to do that. And that's what is inspiring about these landowners. These landowners are people who see the life of the land beyond their own lives, and they want the land to be cared for into the future. And we're a part of that solution. Our staff is a staff that is a relationship-based staff. So our folks, a landowner invites us to come out and look at their property, and we go and look at the property. And we have a great team of people who do that, and they get to know the landowner, they get to know the land, and they look at whether or not this is a fit for the landowner and the Land Trust for Tennessee. And if it is a fit, then we move forward. And a conservation easement is the tool that we use with private landowners, and it's an agreement between the landowner and the Land Trust, or another nonprofit, or even a governmental entity that protects the land in perpetuity. So it limits development. It isn't as if nothing can happen on the land. I think that's a misperception. Another misperception is that you can't sell the land. You can sell the land, or you can't pass it down to heirs. You can pass it down to heirs, but the conservation easement remains in place in perpetuity. And that's the first piece of the cake. The rest of the ingredients in the cake are the things that are going to happen in the future, whether it's, our stewardship of the land. We go out and visit with a landowner every year to see if they want to make any changes, to see if they're planning to sell or pass the land down, and just to get to know a new landowner as well, and just check in with these people. We're really partners in conservation with them. And so that's where our work really begins, is once that conservation easement is signed. When I get to be at a closing, when a landowner has done all of the steps and we've been right there with them, and they sign the conservation easement, in many cases you see this huge sense of relief. You see it on their face, you see it in their posture, and sometimes they get emotional. They're so excited about what they've done. But it's that relationship with these landowners that is the most fun part of the job. These are really interesting people. And so we have that relationship with this landowner and the next one down the road. But the people who initially protect their land, they're a rare bunch of people. So another misperception is that I think it's because we have the word Tennessee in our name that we are part of the government. We are not. We're a 501c3 nonprofit organization. We raise every bit of money that we spend to protect land, and that's a big budget every year. And fortunately, Tennessee has supported us so far, and I think that so much the development in Tennessee is driving people to not only protect their land, but to support our work, even if they don't own land. They know how important the work of the Land Trust for Tennessee is for Tennessee. A lot of our work is hidden in plain sight. You drive by something and it's protected, you think it's beautiful, but you don't know that the Land Trust for Tennessee has any role in that. Think of a place like Leaper's Fork. A lot of that land is protected. Some of the land has signs on it that would let you know, but some don't. But that really has protected the character of that community. The Land Trust has helped to protect the character of that community. But they're public places where you don't have to just drive by, you can actually experience conservation. So think of the park at Harlansdale Farm, that's protected. You think of Mill Ridge Park, parts of Mill Ridge Park in Antioch, protected. If you go to Knoxville, Lakeshore Park is protected by a conservation easement. If you go to West Tennessee, to Shelby Farms Park, that's 4,000 acres protected with a conservation easement donated to the Land Trust for Tennessee. In Chattanooga, we just recently ended a 7-year project building a downhill mountain biking, bouldering, and hiking park on the side of Signal Mountain called Walden's Ridge Park. A lot of partners involved with that, but we hold the conservation easement on that incredible resource that is attracting people from all over the world. So while you can't necessarily have access to the private land that we protect, there's so much public land that we protect that everyone can benefit from by spending time there.